Hopefully this is working. I'm trying something new today. Trying a little bit of a new streaming technology. Give me a shout out in the chat if you can hear or see me or whatever it might be. I can see a few people jumping on now, which is awesome. Morning, James. How are you? Now, doesn't look like I can pop them into the stream this morning, but good to see you guys there. Good to see you, Jeff, Justin, Ania. Morning. Good morning, Ben. How are you, mate? That's great. Fabulous. All working. Trying to get the tech going, which is awesome. So welcome to Wealth Coffee Chat on Friday. Loud and clear, Shaquille. That's great. Friday, the 16th of July. Good to see everyone jumping on right now, which is super cool. Quick shout out before we get going. As you guys know, tonight, you should know, myself and Andy Fenton, we get together and do Wealth, Wine and Wisdom on Friday nights. A glass of wine. 5 p.m. on a Friday. We debrief the week. We started it many months ago during the COVID lockdown to support everyone, support you guys, support property investors, support business owners in understanding what's going on and the things to do. And tonight we're going to be jumping into Wealth, Wine and Wisdom. And we're going to debrief on the week. It's been an interesting week, like Christopher said right there. Lockdown again in Melbourne, lockdown in Sydney. And all of us need to make sure we, take care of business, take care of ourselves, take care of our families. And Andy and I are going to go through a bit of that tonight for business owners as we roll along. The banks and also the government are talking about some support of some description. Hopefully where you are, you've been squirreling a buck or two away as you have been building your portfolio. So we're going to have a bit of a chat about that tonight. So, and a bunch of other things as well. We've got the largest, check this out, gang. It's a crazy time right now. It's, the largest, what is it here? The biggest hedge fund. So a hedge fund is a professional business that raises all this cash and then uses that cash to invest in things, hedge fund. And it's the big news in Australia, a $2 billion hedge fund out of Sydney, Grosvenor Place, has just launched. And gang, there's so much money out there. Like, because the interest rates are so low, money is just fleeing the banking institutions, like leaving that world because it's not going to get a return and it's looking for a place to get a return. And that's why property's going really well. That's why a lot of things are going well, because cash is trash. Cash is trash right now, and it's looking for a home. But anyway, that wasn't... That's what we're going to talk about that tonight. So make sure you join us. Wealth, Wine and Wisdom tonight, gang. Pop along and let's have a bit of a chat about that and many more things tonight as we do the do. However, today I wanted to talk about a little thing that's just popped up in the news, and it might be concerning some people. Some of us might be concerned or worried about this one, all right, which is the vacancy rates in the CBDs. And when you look at this, it sort of shows up and you go, whoa, that's a pretty significant bit of vacancy right there. Do I need to be worried, Jason? Is that going to be a problem? I thought, Melbourne and Sydney and Brisbane and Adelaide and pretty well every bloody place in Australia was going ballistic, et cetera, et cetera. And the answer is it doesn't matter, and it shouldn't matter to you. If you guys have been listening to me and Sam for many, many times or many, many years, you have heard us say you need to avoid the postcodes, the 000 postcodes. Anything with, a 4,000, a 3,000, a 2,000. What's the other ones? What's the postcodes, the CBD postcodes, gang, in Adelaide and Hobart and I think it's 8. Is it 8,000? I think there's an 8,000. Anyway, chuck it in the chat for me if you guys know the postcode, the CBD postcode down there in Adelaide and a few of the others. I only know the main ones on the East Coast. But, gang, this is the thing. These postcodes here, when it comes to vacancy rates and properties that we want to own, we don't want to be owning properties in CBD locations because, gang, like the CBD, 5,000, that's it. That's 5,000. You're dead right. Hardik, good work, mate. The CBD locations are the worst places, the CBD postcodes, gang. Let me be really clear. Why are they the worst places to own in residential real estate? Well, the reason is because all of those CBD postcodes locations have supply and borrowing issues, significant supply and borrowing issues. And let me sort of talk you through a few of those ideas or thoughts when it comes to this sort of stuff. So CBD vacancy rates, irrelevant to you as a property investor. Well, it should be irrelevant to you if you've been listening to me and Sam for over 20 years. We've been saying avoid CBD postcodes like the plague, right? Because they are not good for you as an investor, especially starting out. Maybe an advanced investor, there are some strategies, CBD strategies, which are kind of like almost hotel strategies that work quite nicely. But there you go. And Hardik is saying, yeah, okay, Perth looks a bit better. And have a look at Canberra, Hobart, and Darwin. All right. And when we have a look at this, gang, what we can see is those cities don't have a lot of CBD living. And one of the things about Perth is if you live there, or if and technically, Hardik, it's not better. It's still not great to invest in the Perth CBD either, because it still has those issues. It still has lending issues and supply issues in any CBD location. And mate, if you're on one of the black diamonds, Hardik, you're going to be, mate. Look at that. Look at the Canberra vacancy rate, mate. Like, your rents are going to be astronomical. And mate, you're gonna be all right there. So the vacancy rates for the CBD locations should not be affecting you as a property investor, because we're not investing in those locations. But why is that? Why are we avoiding those CBD locations when it comes to our investing? I'll tell you a couple of reasons. Number one, the loan to value ratios are lower. Okay, now this is full standalone lending, and I always get people, my broker, my bank gave me 90% on this property. I'm like going, no, they didn't. They didn't give you 90% on that property. They gave you 90% on that one, while they had 70% on the other one that you owned. And then the combination was 80% total across your portfolio. You did not get a standalone loan. There you go. Anyway, that's not the reason for the chat today. Loan to value ratio. The loan to value ratio is lower. I have seen it anywhere from 50 to 70% standalone loan to value ratio for ownership in a 000 postcode for properties. Gang, make sure you understand this one. And number two, supply is technically easy. And what do I mean by technically easy? Supply is easy. In a CBD, gang, where are the tallest residential buildings in a city? Tell me, are they in the suburbs or are they in the CBD? Question? Yeah, you're right. I'm right. You're right. They're in the CBD. Gang, they are smack bang in the middle of the city. The most supply, the easiest supply for large buildings all at once in one spot is in the city. You're dead right, Hardik. So, it only takes one building of 800 apartments to flood the market for months and months and months and months and months. Okay? Now, that happens often and consistent in CBD locations. And the banks know this. The banks have known this forever and a day. And that's why they lend money. They lend less money to a CBD property than they would a regular apartment or a house in a regular suburb. So we've got a supply issue, which is on the opposite. Most issues right now are there's no supply bloody anywhere in the marketplace because of APRA slowdown, which was a real pain in the neck. But right now, gang, for all of us, we need to make sure just because we see some supply coming in the city doesn't mean we rush out and buy one in the city because it's not going to be a great location. So tell me also, when we have a look at this vacancy, you know, in comparison to one or two suburbs away, I know in Brisbane right now, if you go a couple of suburbs away from the city, maybe 1 or 2K away from the city, there's vacancy rates of 2, 1.5, 1% in those suburbs, okay, in great, premium, awesome, amazing suburbs, 1K from the CBD. But tell me why in the CBD is there a 6% vacancy rate in Brisbane, okay? Tell me why. Because, gang, it is those cities, those main cities, Adelaide, Brisbane, Melbourne, they have a large university population that like to live closer to the CBD locations. That's the style, that's the universities. And also that's where a lot of transitory people will, traveling people will stay. And there was lots of short-term Airbnb accommodation transformed in the CBDs as well. So that's what we're seeing there. Nothing for you guys to be concerned about because you're not investing there. And the tenants that were living there are not the ones you were wanting to attract anyway into your properties per se. So where we're investing, the quality locations we're investing, those vacancy rates are low and those properties are solid. So that's what we need to make sure we understand. And the supply issues in CBDs are the opposite to most places, where they're easy to supply, but it's hard in other places to supply the right properties at the right time. But there you go. Hopefully that makes sense, gang. And hello to Roz up there in the sunny coast. Good to see you. Thanks for dropping by, everyone. Just another little quick reminder for tonight, Wealth, Wine and Wisdom at 5 p.m. I think someone gave me a shout out there before about what time is it, Christopher? It's 5 o'clock, 5 p.m. And it'll be on this channel. If you're subscribed to Positive Real Estate, if you're subscribed to Passionate Property Investors, or you're in our mentoring program, you'll get an alert. And around about 5 o'clock, we'll be going live. And we usually have a glass of wine and have a chat for about an hour about all things real estate, about all things property market, all things share and equities market related as well. And then we take a bunch of questions and try and shed some light on anything you've got to say. So, join me tonight. It's the end of the week. We made it. We made it to the end of the week, which is always good. So if you're keen for it, 5 o'clock tonight. Anyway, gang, that's it from me. Wealth Coffee Chat done and dusted. You guys have an awesome weekend, unless I see you at Wealth, Wine and Wisdom. Let's chat a little bit later next week on Monday. Christopher says he's got one right across the Melbourne Uni and the hospital always full. That's great. It's nice to have multiple density activity around the apartments that you have. So it's always nice. You've got the hospital, you've got uni, you've got multiple tenant pools, which is great. Thanks, Jeff. You have a great day, mate. Christopher, Ellison, and the rest of you guys. Shaquille, Hardick. Who else is there? Margaret, Calvin, Andrew, Arnie, Ania, Justin. All right, that's it. I better go. I'm just rabbiting on now. It's done. Coffee chat done. You guys have a weekend. See you tonight if you're coming. All right, bye-bye.